and welcome to this bonus video. Okay, so right now, for those who are not in the loop, we are currently on the road to Wrestlemania. And it's one of the most exciting times of the year for people like me who watch a sport where this person could be considered an active participant. And since last year's Wrestlemania was really good, and this one looks like it's going to be absolutely insane, my god, I decided I wanted to make a video about the yearly showcase of the Immortals. Wrestlemania is more than just a standard wrestling show. It is the only time of the year where WWE spends as much money as possible to make sure WrestleMania is the biggest spectacle of the year. From the entrances, to the stages, to the outfits, everyone works day in and day out to make sure that that year's WrestleMania is the one to be remembered for generations to come. And one of those many factors that makes WrestleMania WrestleMania is a key ingredient that I feel like gets overlooked a lot, and that is official theme songs. For over 40 years now, this event has taken place, and each one has a song, or in some cases multiple songs, that makes each one feel unique. And with this been going on as long as it has, boy howdy, there's some wild and crazy choices. In fact, before we start this video, let's play a game. On your screen right now are 8 different bands or artists, and I want you to look for the 2 specific bands or artists that do not have an official WrestleMania theme. Okay, can you do it? Let's see. Did you guess Foo Fighters and Linkin Park? I hope so, because that's the right answer. Look at the people that are still on this board. That's the level of randomness we're looking at, people. My job today is to find out what are the best official theme songs in the history of the grandest stage of them all, Wrestlemania. And we are going to do that by using an algorithm-friendly tier list format. And before we begin, let me go down the 6 different parameters we are going to use to judge whether or not these themes are good or bad. The first parameter is grandness. WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, and the theme should match its extreme immenseness. It's called the Showcase of the Immortals for a reason. The second parameter is fight feel. Wrestling is a fighting sport, and the theme should reflect that, at least a little bit. The third parameter is synergy. Wrestling is not just about the fighting. There are themes, locations, sets, and decades to consider. So my question for these themes, do they synergize well? Do they fit in with what's going on? The fourth parameter is opening and pyro. These themes open the show, and a good theme should work well with the opening and pyro. You should be pumped and energized to watch hours of wrestling after seeing that opening. The fifth parameter is memorability. I have watched every single WrestleMania. There's been plenty of Mania themes that just kind of fade into the background. A good Mania theme should be memorable and should be remembered for years to come. And the last parameter is vibes. If I personally think this is a pretty cool Mania theme, it's gonna get an extra point. Alright, so with all the parameters out of the way, we can finally get started. Let's see how all of these official theme songs ranked on the list. So let's get ready to rumble, everybody! Let's go! We're gonna start this off by talking about the golden era, the very first WrestleManias. I wonder how good these themes are. I hope you like the 80s! Alright, first off, we're going to start off with WrestleMania 1. Okay, and this little guy right here, even though it just says EMA on it, this is WrestleMania 1. The theme song for this one is Easy Lover by Phil Collins. And what a start for official theme songs, because it checks off a bunch of these boxes right off the gate. It has grandeur, it has a good 80s fight feel. The opening with Vince McMahon just going down the card with this in the background is such an awesome vibe. It's memorable, even though it only played once on the original broadcast. It is the theme song to WrestleMania. When I think of WrestleMania, I think of this song, which just showcases how memorable it is. I think what the song is about, being Easy Lover, I don't know if that really works. So I would want to put it in Best of the Best, but I just think synergy-wise, it just doesn't really work. And it's only played once at the very beginning. If it was played throughout the night, maybe I would give it a point for synergy, but it's a great theme. It's a great theme. I can't lie about that. Now, what isn't a great theme? WrestleMania 2, What the World Has Come To by Jim Johnston. Jim Johnston, you're going to hear a lot in this list because he was the premier music man of WWE, and he's in charge of like all the themes. Right now, this is one of the earliest works you will hear from Jim Johnston, and that is the theme to WrestleMania 2. There's not much to it. The opening is very 80s. It is such an 80s intro. When the big giant 2 shows up behind the WrestleMania, it is very cool. But I don't know if it has a lot going for it. I don't know. It doesn't really get me excited. I'm going to say they probably should have picked something else. Next up, WrestleMania 3. I would say it has 2 intros. One has the very classic 80s WrestleMania 3 opening with its smooth jazz. But it also has Aretha Franklin as the official theme song with her song Who's Zooming Who. The original broadcast version with Who's Zooming Who, I believe, is lost to time, but someone on Dailymotion made a mock-up from what they remembered from the original broadcast, and watching my tape, I can very much tell that that was probably what was supposed to go there. Even if I haven't seen the original broadcast, just that intro alone is so good, it's so iconic. I think it's cool, and I think the fact that Aretha Franklin has a WrestleMania theme song is awesome. So even though I don't know if the song truly really works for a WrestleMania theme, I think the vibes are pretty great. I'm giving that a 4. Okay, next up we're going to be talking about WrestleMania 4. This is the tournament. The tournament to decide a brand new WWF champion. It's really a one-match show. It's still really fun. But what is not fun is the official theme song, because it doesn't really have one. There's like a small little like WrestleMania 4 theme that Jim Johnston made. Like, it's a blink if you miss it song. It's only there for the little animation. The animation, though, is really nice, and I think the song works with the animation, but, it's not good. I think makes the show worse is a little harsh for WrestleMania 4, because it is just kind of there, but the show would be better if it had a better theme. WrestleMania 5 is next. WrestleMania 5 has Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage. Tag team partners, now bitter enemies. With WrestleMania 5, we have not just one, but 2 songs we're going to talk about. We have the WrestleMania 5 theme by Jim Johnston, which is an improvement, I'd say, from the WrestleMania 4 theme. But also, we have Run DMC. Run DMC made an original song called WrestleMania Rap, and they performed it in front of everybody. WrestleMania Rap is not a great song. You can hardly understand what's being said because of, I'm assuming, the equipment they used to put this whole thing ramshackled together. And it's crammed in the middle of an already long show, and the crowd looks so bored and annoyed, which is usually how these things go with concerts in the middle of WrestleMania. We're going to have a lot of those, but this was the very first WrestleMania concert. I think the vibes, of Run DMC being there is really fun. I think it's a great little fun fact. I think it's fun, but no one else had fun with it. So I'm going to give it a 2. I'm going to give it a 2. We're going to say this is WrestleMania 6. I'm not 100% sure if it is, but we're going to say that it is. This one takes place in Toronto, Canada, and it features the epic main event, title versus title, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. Old, classic WrestleMania here with a fantastic Jim Johnston number. Jim really stepped up his game and gave us something really nice for WrestleMania, and that is the song called Grand Spectacle. It has big fight feel energy. It's so grandiose, super 80s. The opening is fantastic. It shows like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior as like constellations that come and collide with each other. It is so over the top and awesome. Yeah, Grand Spectacle, best of the best. It is such a great freaking 80s song. Now, as much as I love Grand Spectacle, I think it is a fantastic song. It's so freaking good. What I don't like is they repeat it for WrestleMania 7. I think when WrestleManias repeat themes, they do it at a disservice, because I want each WrestleMania to feel unique and special, and WrestleMania 7 really could have used that. And as much as I like the opening, and I think the opening is really fun, I think some of the vibes are off because it's reusing last year's theme. Grand Spectacle is still a great song, so I think it's still usable here. It gets the job done. WrestleMania 8 is next. That is the supposed double main event, which features Hulk Hogan and Sid. That is supposedly Hulk Hogan's retirement match. Spoiler alert, it is not. And we also have Ric Flair versus Macho Man Randy Savage for the title. Even though it's for the title, it does not go last because Hulk Hogan needs to get his way. And guess what, everybody? It did the same thing as last year. Grand Spectacle. Hooray! As much as I love Grand Spectacle, it makes these two Manias just feel kind of cheap in comparison to the first one. Get out of here, Golden Era! Be gone with you! Because we're now entering a new generation. The 90s are here and in full force, and you're going to hear that in the music. And we're going to have the introduction of a bunch of different characters. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Duke the Dumpster Drosy, Doink the Clown, the Goon. You like the Goon? Here's the Goon! Alright, next up is going to be WrestleMania 9. WrestleMania 9 is considered one of the worst WrestleManias ever, but one of the best when it comes to theming. WrestleMania 9 is outside, it's outside of Caesar's Palace, and they go all out with the Roman theme, and that extends with the official theme song. The theme is like this Roman theme that it really sets the stage, so synergy is off the charts, but it's not great. It sounds like just some MIDI Roman theme that you cooked up on your Windows 95. It sounds pretty blah. We're going to be putting this one down in one. I think if WrestleMania 9 had a better theme that fit the Roman thing, it would have worked, because if you did like a live horn like ensemble, maybe it could have worked. After 9 comes 10. WrestleMania 10 is here, and the theme song is called WrestleMania. Boy, is that fitting. This song is 90s as all hell. This is in the era called the New Generation, and boy, yeah, it sounds like a New Generation song. It's almost silly. I think for the time period, it works. It's a very memorable song, and I do think it is charming, and the opening is fine. I'm gonna give it a good. There's just something about it that's so good for WrestleMania 10 and is leagues better than what we got the year before, which you could say about the entire show as a whole. While I think that WrestleMania 10 had a pretty good theme, I cannot say the same for WrestleMania 11. This show. The wrestling portion and all the wrestlers kind of take a back seat to all the celebrities that are joining us for the night. And the show has a big cost-cutting vibe to it. And that goes with the theme too. This is like the dark period of WrestleMania. Like, WWF was not doing that great. And when you repeat the same theme song from one year to another, it gives it a big cheapness. Like, look at this logo. Look at Esselma. And if you listen to this song, you're like, these don't fit at all. Nothing here fits. I'm giving it a 0. But WrestleMania 12, however, is a little better. They didn't have a lot of money to spare. And guess what? We got the same theme now for 3 years in a row. Now, I'm going to give WrestleMania 12 some slack. I do think the opening with this song works really well. I think the vibes fit this song way more than WrestleMania 11 did. Even though I do think they probably should have picked something else, it works. It's okay. But what doesn't work, WrestleMania 13. Okay, so we're almost to the Attitude Era. Things are picking up, and WrestleMania 13 features the fantastic Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin match, which, surprise again, still uses the WrestleMania theme. The whole show has this more edgier vibe to it. The opening's even talking about how this is not like WrestleMania of old. These people have a vendetta against each other. There's a lot of anger in WrestleMania. Why the heck do we still have the WrestleMania 10 theme going on? Why are we using this theme? I know why. It's because they don't have any freaking money. So they didn't want to pay anyone for a new song, but dang. It's like no one cares behind the scenes, and that just infuriates me. I'm giving it a 0. The new generation is over. It's now time to talk about the thing that no one ever shuts up about, and that is the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was very notable for having edgier content and more of an aggressive style. People cursed more, people bled more, it was a lot more extreme, but you had Mankind, you had Stone Cold, you had Kane, Undertaker, you had a great list of characters on Raw every single week, and it was some of the best content that WWF ever produced. So, well, let's see how the music stacks up.
WrestleMania 14 here is another really memorable WrestleMania. It has Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, where Stone Cold Steve Austin finally wins the WWF Championship. There is a lot of fun matches on WrestleMania 14, and it uses the exact same theme as it did last year. The whole show is so grungy and just counterculture, and it's still using the same vibe as they did when they were in the New Generation era. What the freak, guys? What? 5 years in a row, they used the same freaking song. It only took 5 years, but we finally have a new song for WrestleMania. Took them long enough. WrestleMania 15, WrestleMania from 1999. This show is nicknamed Russo-mania because head writer Vince Russo was a crazy little bastard. This show is freaking wild. A man gets hung in it. This show is actually a pretty fun watch, even though it is kind of a little bit like trash TV. But it's not about the quality of the show, it's about the quality of the theme. This one is another Jim Johnston song. This one is called Rage. Which is very appropriate because the show's tagline was The Raging Climax. Hooray! So I think the song really works for the vibe they were going. It's very aggressive. The opening pyro really works for this. And it is a song you could have a little bit of a fight to. I think it really works on all those fronts. But it is a little bit forgettable, so I'm going to say it gets the job done. I'm never going to go back and re-listen to Rage outside of watching WrestleMania 15 again. Next is WrestleMania 2000 that took place in California. Anaheim, California to be specific. WrestleMania 2000 has this like techno feel over the whole thing, but you would never really know that by the theme song. California by Jim Johnston is a very cheesy song, and I love it. I freaking love the theme song for WrestleMania 2000. Never before has a show really leaned in on the location, and the opening package with this song blaring out is so great. Super memorable, super fun. It's a good theme. Now this is what I'm talking about, WrestleMania X7. I've already talked about this a little bit, so if you watch my Limp Bizkit video, you know we're about to talk about some freaking Limp Bizkit. So WrestleMania X7 is considered by many a fan to be the best WrestleMania they've ever made. People say everything across the board just works. But the main thing to remember from the show is it features Stone Cold versus The Rock 2, and the theme song is My Way by Limp Bizkit. If you watch the opening of WrestleMania X7, it's going to click that this is just like the perfect song for this show. It has aggressiveness. It really works with the time period. Nu metal was really big. It's 2001. It is super memorable. I know I'm using a lot of hyperbole, but I really mean it when I think My Way has a grandness to it when it comes to this show and everything around it. It is just so perfect. Best of the best. Best of the best. No doubt about it. We are leaving WrestleMania X7, and now we're going to talk about WrestleMania X8. Icon versus Icon. The Rock versus Hulk Hogan is the big money match on WrestleMania X8. WrestleMania X8 is also considered Nu Metal Mania because it features Saliva and Drowning Pool as your two theme songs. We're going to talk about other Manias later that claim to have multiple official theme songs, but this one is like, 100%, there are two theme songs here. They use both of them interchangeably. And they even perform each theme song live for this show. So that's pretty iconic and memorable. But unlike My Way, I do think that Tearaway and Superstar don't really match up to the grandness of My Way. I think Superstar by Saliva is a great song. Wrestlers in WWE, for those who do not know, are called WWE Superstars. So I'm glad Saliva performed Superstar. That's super synergy. I think WrestleMania X8 does have some pretty good themes. I would not put them in the great category. I just think they do a very good job, and the vibes are very 2002 in the best way.
Mid-2000s are here, and the Attitude Era is no more. After the merging of WCW and WWF, we got a bunch of new stars to play with, and for the mid-2000s, things were still trying to get that same passion the Attitude Era had, but with a new style and a new phrase, and that phrase was called Ruthless Aggression. You're gonna see people like Brock Lesnar and John Cena and Batista show up for these years here, and they're gonna really blow up and become the mainstays that you are come to expect. Yeah.
Next up, WrestleMania 19, brother, and we return with WWE's favorite band, Limp Bizkit. Not just one, but 2 WrestleManias were themed by Limp Bizkit. Now, this song is Crack Addict, which is a cut song from Results May Vary. The song may be called Crack Addict, but the crack is not the drug. It's actually talking about cracking in skulls. It's a song about fighting. It works. It works very well. It gives you that fight feel you're looking for. It works so well with the opening. Memorable as all hell. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's great. WrestleMania is now 20, and it has returned to its birth home in Madison Square Garden. It's the last time WrestleMania has been to Madison Square Garden, because the show, quite frankly, is too big for it. The theme for WrestleMania 20 is Step Up by Drowning Pool and Touche by Godsmack. More leaning on Step Up by Drowning Pool than Touche is. The theme is so hard-hitting and so aggressive, which is really good for the Ruthless Aggression era. Now, there is a balancing act between grandness and aggressiveness that I don't think WrestleMania 20 really hits. It's a good theme, but when you listen to it, it doesn't just feel like WrestleMania. It feels like it can be from anywhere. But that guitar solo, ooh, that hits me. Ooh, that hits me. And now it's time for the curious case of WrestleMania 21. WrestleMania 21 is just dripping in personality. WrestleMania is back in Hollywood, and they want you to know, with movie parodies, a red carpet and a marquee for the stage, and a theme song that really fits it. The theme song is Big Time by the Soundtrack of Our Lives, and that song just has so much Hollywood, vibes just leaking from it. As well as Big Time, there's a secondary theme of Behind Those Eyes by Three Doors Down. Now, what makes this thing so curious is it just seems like this year, WWE did not want to pay for any of the licensing, because on the DVD version and on the network, they just don't have those songs on there. And it's like, just for WrestleMania 21. This is like a problem the early Manias have. I don't know why WrestleMania 21 is like shafted, because the theme they used to replace Big Time sucks. It sounds like so generic. I feel like WrestleMania 21, if they spent the money to trademark the themes, it would have been a very memorable, Mania for theme songs. But Mania actually has like a cheap feeling to it when you rewatch it, because that theme is just so blah. Alright, next is WrestleMania 22 in Chicago, Illinois. WrestleMania 22 is known for 3 theme songs. That is Peter Gabriel's Big Time, I Dare You by Shinedown, and Save Me Sorrow by Bullets and Octane. Never before in Mania history has a theme song been so integral to the personality of a show. They even made a different logo for this show that just features the Peter Gabriel song's title right underneath it. And you would think that a Peter Gabriel song would not work for WrestleMania, but oh, it does. It does feel like Big Time, because Peter told me it is. And if I didn't get that Big Time feel from Peter, that I Dare You song by Shinedown works phenomenally. And all of these should not work together, but they do. They hit all the parts. WrestleMania 22, musically, is best of the best. It's so good. I might be biased a little bit here. Big Time by Peter Gabriel might not feel so grandiose to you, but to me, really steps up that level. WrestleMania 23, WrestleMania All Grown Up, takes place in Detroit, Michigan. So WrestleMania 23 is goated. It is goated. WrestleMania 23 features 2 songs as their official theme songs. It features The Memory Will Never Die by Default, but more importantly, it features Ladies and Gentlemen by Saliva, which is so good. It's perfect for WrestleMania. This WrestleMania here made me go out and buy that specific Saliva album because it was just that perfect for WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard it, like, it sounds like it's coming from an arena, and it's talking about all the amazing sights and sounds you're going to hear, but also it's like an aggressive thing too. Tiny Tim could have wrote the secondary theme for WrestleMania 23. It still would be best of the best because of that Saliva song. A WrestleMania near and dear to my heart is WrestleMania 24. That stage for WrestleMania 24 this year, oh, so good. WrestleMania 24 is home to the retirement match, Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. There's a bunch of other stuff on the card, but that is the match to see, man. That is the match to see. The theme songs for this year is Light It Up by Rev Theory and Snow by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Both songs lyrically don't really work for WrestleMania, but the instrumentals is what we're here for. And Snow really packs in that tropical vibe that they're going for. Now, the opening package with Light It Up, they did not use a good part of the song to open up the show. There could have been a much better part for them to feature, but it's memorable. It has that synergy going on. Light It Up has that fight feel going on. Bada bing, bada boom. I think it's good. Not so much great, but I do think WrestleMania 24 really matches what they're going for.
Ruthless aggression is now in our rear view mirror. We are now in the dark ages of modern wrestling. This is the PG era. WWE in 2008 was losing a lot of money, so what Vince decided to do was to pivot and focus his whole company. Instead of catering to teenagers and adults, he would cater to specifically children and family units. And with it came some awful, terrible storylines, awful jokes. Piggy James was one of them. I hated that. Garbage. But we don't have to worry about the content of the wrestling itself. We only have to look at the content of the theme songs of WrestleMania. So let's see if some of these awful events can do better than some of the best WrestleManias in all of history. Alright. Bye!
WrestleMania 25, or as WWE incorrectly calls it, the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania, even though it's the 24th anniversary of WrestleMania. I don't know if it's because they're going for a younger audience or more just for a general audience, but WrestleMania 25 has 2 songs in it from AC/DC. One is Shoot to Thrill, which is the A theme, which comes from Back in Black. But the second AC/DC song is War Machine from Black Ice. And also it features a song called Touched by Vast. It just feels like we're just gonna, pander. What's a popular band? AC/DC? Okay, we'll do that. It just doesn't really work to me. The opening's fine, but I don't know. I feel like I would have picked something else. WrestleMania 26 is next. This one right here is highlighted by Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels 2, where if Shawn Michaels lost, he would have to retire. WrestleMania 26 just has this vibe of just catering to children, and it really diminishes the whole product for me personally with WrestleMania 26. And no song really feels like that more than the theme I Made It by Kevin Rudolph. It's not the only theme, but that is the A theme for the show. Be Yourself by Audioslave is the B theme. And for your C and D themes, which apparently we have to have these now, we have Thunderstruck by AC/DC and The Show by Since October. I think Be Yourself was a fine song. It's probably one of the better songs here, but I think they should have picked something else. Next up, we have what people also consider to be one of the worst WrestleManias, WrestleMania 27 from Atlanta, Georgia. WrestleMania 27 has 2 different themes. It has Written in the Stars by Tinny Tempa, featuring Eric Turner. Also had a song by Shinedown as well called Diamond Eyes, Boom La Boom La Boom. It's been a while since we had songs that really gave us a feeling of like, man, I am watching an otherworldly showcase of the Immortals experience, but Written in the Stars does have that. It really works in multiple levels. I think the theme is great. WrestleMania 28, Once in a Lifetime, John Cena versus The Rock, head-to-head for the first time ever. This WrestleMania, theme-wise, is a bloated mess. There are so many official theme songs. Let me name you all of them. We Are Young by Fun. Girl Gone Wild by Madonna. The Memory Remains by Metallica. Wild Ones by Flo Rida. Invincible by Machine Gun Kelly. And Good Feeling, also by Flo Rida. Fun fact, this WrestleMania took place in Florida. So the fact that Flo Rida is here, that's some good synergy, baby. This Mania has multiple concerts in it. So that also is like, yeah, this Mania is a little bloated here, filled with live performances by Flo Rida and Machine Gun Kelly. Even with all of these songs, man, does the A theme, Good Feeling, really fit WrestleMania. These songs are very memorable, and they kind of work, but I don't know if they're really into the great category. If you only had one or two, maybe I can just say these are probably better just by vibes alone, but yeah, man, there's way too many official theme songs in this one.
Ding dong! Hello! Alright, we're done with the PG era. Don't be fooled, we are still TV PG, but now we are shifted into a different style, and we're trying to make better storylines, and trying to listen to what the fans want. This is the reality era. Don't be fooled, we are still TV PG, but the reality era is an era where WWE has now realized that everyone knows what's going on behind the scenes in the business. And with that, they have changed their booking to reflect how people will react online. Specifically, we know this as the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan being booked into the main event of WrestleMania 30, because of fan backlash. Still got a bunch of old faces in here. We still got your Big Shows, your Randy Ortons, your Triple H's, but you also have a bunch of new stars, mostly with The Shield, and Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and all of them, and a bunch of new faces starts to go up the card. That is the reality era. So, let's see how the music plays out here.
WrestleMania 30 is next from New Orleans, Louisiana. WrestleMania 30 is a fantastic WrestleMania. You have the Yeselmania story of Daniel Bryan having to earn his way into the main event and then winning the whole thing at the end. It was such a good story to tell. And in between that story, you have the streak ending, Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, in a heartbreaking match. And throughout all of it is the sounds of Kid Rock the whole night. I'm not really a Kid Rock head. I don't listen to him in my spare time, but man, did Celebrate by Kid Rock make the perfect WrestleMania A theme. And on top of it, we also have Legacy by Eminem and In Time by Mark Colley. All of these really work in this show. Some wrestling fans might be wondering why I only said 3 songs there. Well, Imagine Dragons' Monster, which plays at the infamous Daniel Bryan Monster video package, does not count as an official theme. WWE did not recognize that as one of its themes. Don't know why. Here's the graphic from their website. Fun fact, for those who did not know, Kid Rock is also a WWE Hall of Famer, so if you want even more synergy, there you go. I'm going to give it a great, because I'm not going to really fight someone to the song Celebrate by Kid Rock. Maybe you would, but I'm not, so there. Stick with me. We got 10 more, and then I'll leave you alone. WrestleMania 31, or as it is known, WrestleMania Play Button. WrestleMania, for some reason, decided to stop numbering their events and just go by symbols, and this one was a play button to add to the Silicon Valley area. Another instance of WrestleMania having a concert. Both themes are played on the show, and I do think the songs do really match the vibe. Rise by David Guetta featuring Skylar Grey, and Money in the Power by Kid Ink. Both really work with this theme. But outside of that, this theme is just not really highlighted as much as other themes are. Even though they are playing the song right in front of you in the concert, it's barely featured in the opening. And there's no really pyro to really pump you up at the beginning. I just don't know if it really works. I think it gets the job done. We don't really think of WrestleMania play button for the theme. We think of it for the heist of the century. We think of the Money in the Bank cash-in at the end. We think about that awesome RKO and the great ladder match. We don't really think about Rise by David Guetta. We're going to talk about WrestleMania 32 now. Oh, I hate this WrestleMania. I hate it so much. This is like the time where I stopped being a fan for a while. I could not really stand the product around this time, and when rewatching this WrestleMania, oh boy, is this a stinker of a show. Let me just list off all of the themes here. We have Oh No by Goodbye June. We have Sympathy for the Devil by Motorhead. We have Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold. We have Hello Friday by Flo Rida. But the A theme is My House from Flo Rida. I'm not saying that My House by Flo Rida is a bad song, but it does not fit the vibe of the showcase of the Immortals. You're standing on the shoulders of giants. I'll give it one thing, it's memorable, but outside of that, I think it makes the show worse. Some people really like this theme song. You are entitled to your own opinion, but I can't stand this show, and one of the reasons why is because My House is the theme. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so we have now talked about all the eras that are very much defined, and everyone agrees on that these are eras that have come and gone. But now, we are currently in a weird flux space called the New Era. So the New Era started before COVID. Then in the middle of the New Era, people have also dubbed another era inside of it called the Thunderdome Era, which is where COVID happened, you had closed arenas, you had a specific arena made called the Thunderdome, and then some people think the New Era continues after that. This part is very fuzzy, and it's also because it's still relatively new and people haven't had enough time to really set what the lines are, and if these are two separate eras or if it's three eras, we don't really know. But we're gonna go through it together.
WrestleMania 33 is in Orlando, Florida. This WrestleMania takes place in Orlando, Florida, and the whole show has a Universal Studios aesthetic to it. They even have like a little roller coaster in the background and some simulated drop towers. They do this with a wonderful song called Greenlight by Pitbull, featuring Flo Rida and Lunch Money Lewis. Since this WrestleMania theme is all about roller coasters, you have to give the green light. You have to give the freaking all clear. That's what you need to do to make a roller coaster move. Bada bing, bada boom. That's good synergy there, baby. Bada boom. This WrestleMania also features the songs Like a Champion by Danger Twins, Flame by Tina She, I probably said that wrong, and Am I Savage by Metallica. All of those songs, they do their job. They do it well. But the main thing, the A theme, Green Light, is perfect. With it being in Florida, it has a nice party feel. I think it feels pretty grand. I don't know if I would fight myself to the music of Pitbull. It doesn't give me an aggressive feeling, but it does a very good job with this specific WrestleMania. WrestleMania 34 is back in New Orleans, and guess who's back? WWE Hall of Famer Kid Rock is back. The A theme here is the song called New Orleans by Kid Rock, but it also heavily features Celebrate by Kid Rock as well, like it did last time. Let the Good Times Roll by Freddie King is also here. Devil by Shinedown and Let It Roll by Flo Rida are also here, but they are hardly used outside of like one time. You already know how I feel about reusing themes. It diminishes how much power that theme has over the show, and it just feels like we're retreading old waters. But the synergy's here. The synergy's here. I mean, they have a song called New Orleans in New Orleans. That's pretty on the nose there. So yeah, I don't like that they reuse the same song once again, but there you go. Good theme. WrestleMania is going to be in New Orleans again, and I hope they don't use Celebrate for a third time, because man, would that annoy me to no end. Oh my god, I forgot WrestleMania 29 existed. What the freak? Sorry guys, I forgot WrestleMania 29 existed, so I'm actually going to do this now. Sorry, I forgot about it. So WrestleMania New York, New Jersey is the title for this one. Now, this one here features the song Coming Home by Diddy Dirty Money. Diddy is a very controversial figure nowadays, but back in the day, you know, it was Diddy. That was a big deal back then. And the song Coming Home has to do with the fact that they're back in the New York, New Jersey area since WrestleMania 20. WrestleMania also has several different songs: Bones by Young Guns, Surrender by Angels and Airwaves, and Letters from the Sky by Sybil Twilight. Coming Home doesn't really work for me anymore. When I was younger, that song really did it for me, but this song is just so annoying to me now. I would say it gets the job done. I really like that it has a song that really showcases the relationship WrestleMania has with this area, but alright, okay, now here we are. We're back in WrestleMania, in the same arena as WrestleMania 29, but now we're WrestleMania 35. And this is notable for it. It's the very first time women have ever main evented a WrestleMania, which is such a good moment. Such a fun match. WrestleMania 35 is highlighted by 3 official theme songs. We have White Flag by Bishop Briggs. We have Work by Chris Classic, who has a unique version of that song specifically for WrestleMania 35. But the A theme is Love Runs Out by One Republic. I don't know really lyrically why they picked this song, but musically I think it's fun. It's not, you know, written in the stars level of grandiose, but it does work. I think it's pretty good. That's my opinion. This is what starts the weekend's stranglehold on WrestleMania, starting with WrestleMania 36 here. This one took place during COVID. No one was in attendance for this Mania here, and it's the first Mania to take place in 2 nights. Night 1 and Night 2 Manias. And this theme is Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. And I bet this would have been so freaking awesome if they were able to do what they wanted to do that year. But unfortunately, it doesn't really match up the hype that this song could have generated. And the reason is because, like, the format, because it's indoors, it's the pandemic show, it's very snappy. They don't give lots of time to breathe for the show because there's really nothing to look at. It's the WrestleMania equivalent of fighting in a shed. It's in the Performance Center. It's really small. So there really isn't any blinding lights. It's their training facility. I think it's a song that really brings back the grandness that we have been missing from a lot of themes. And it is a memorable song, but that opening could have had a lot of moments to, like, really sink in, but they just rush right past it. So WrestleMania 36, I'm going to get a 3. It gets the job done. Not the best we're going to see from the weekend. Maybe we'll do a little bit better. WrestleMania 37, you might see, has some similarities to WrestleMania 36 because, man, they were doing this at Tampa Bay Stadium and they were refusing to get rid of the pirate gimmick. They were bringing it back and they were going to do it harder than ever before. And I think that might be one of the reasons why they brought back The Weeknd, to give The Weeknd another try on making a WrestleMania theme. And this one was Save Your Tears. Save your tears for another day. That song is very awesome and very good. And if that was like the only theme for WrestleMania, it would have been fine. But we have to include Head Up High by Fitz in this, which is okay, but the main theme for this show is not Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. The main theme for this show is a song written by Def Rebel, and it's called All the Gold. But Def Rebel is not good. They are not Jim Johnston. So never before since WrestleMania 9 has theming made the show a little bit worse because of it. You have Save Your Tears right there. Why did you even bother making this freaking song? WrestleMania 38. Back in Dallas, Texas once again. This time in a full crowd. We doing it, baby. We doing it. WrestleMania, baby. Woo! This Mania highlights the return of Cody Rhodes from his stint in AEW, but also has a match with Stone Cold Steve Austin in it, which he hasn't had a match since WrestleMania 19, all the way up here. WrestleMania 38's main theme, the A theme, is Sacrificed by The Weeknd, but also features the songs I Feel Good by Pitbull and All Nightmare Long by Metallica. Now, yes, this Mania is pretty dang good, and I think the theme is one of the reasons why. 38 just seems like such a return to form for WrestleMania. This theme feels grand and important. It's been a while since WrestleMania just felt really important. So yeah, good themes all around on this one. I think Sacrificed by The Weeknd, really nice WrestleMania theme. Man, here we freaking go. WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. WrestleMania 39 also has another Weeknd song. This one is Less Than Zero, but it also includes Hollywood Swingin' by freaking Kool and the Gang. WrestleMania's back in Hollywood, and man, does that theme make you feel like it. I was so pumped seeing the stage reveal. Oh, not last year, dang, 2 years ago. And when they played that song, I was like, yes, that's what I want. Just looking at that stage with that song, it just works so well together. Peanut butter and freaking jelly right there. Great themes. Great themes. And now, last WrestleMania, WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania XL in Philadelphia. WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania XL right here. You know, people are considering WrestleMania 40 one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And I'm not saying it's because of the theme, but there is only one theme on this show. That is so refreshing. So many WrestleManias bloat the whole freaking shebang with a bunch of different themes, and you only need one. And that theme will seem so much better and so much more memorable in hindsight if you just have that one theme. This song is Gasoline by The Weeknd. This theme was phenomenal. And I think just like last year, they did a great job with picking some themes that really makes the show feel bigger than ever and really highlights everything you want from a WrestleMania. Here you go. Those are my rankings with all my criteria of the best WrestleMania themes to the worst abominations in wrestling history. Let me just do a quick cleanup here, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, this is my lineup here. And I know, like, when people make a WrestleMania tier list, like, by next year, it becomes obsolete. So I'm just going to just say all themes after this are going to be terrible. All right, back to me.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, you can stop watching now. Patreon! I have one. I know when I make music reviews, I'm playing with fire the moment I decide to put up music in my music reviews. But I do this because I think it's better for you, the watcher, the listener, to be able to get a taste of what I am reviewing. And I've decided to make, that risk, and I do it, and when I get copyright strict, I'm like, okay, it's fine, whatever. But recently, I've had a video that was up for a whole year, but as soon as it started to get traction, it finally got a copyright claim to it. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks, and it was very annoying. I do this whether I'm gonna make money or not, but after that, ghost passing video got claimed, I want to shout out the Patreon, because, man, that suck. I don't want to compromise my reviews to try to make money. If my video gets claimed, I'm not going to re-edit it, because that is the vision I had for it. That is the way you saw it the first time, and I don't want to take that away from y'all. I think if I edit it, it makes it worse for you, the viewer, to watch. So I don't want to do that, because I respect y'all too much to go back and just be like, okay, I'll just take everything out. That way I make more money. That's dumb. I don't like that. So if you want to support me on Patreon, there is a link below. And I am going to name off all the tiers and all the things you will get if you decide to support me there. So here we go. For $1, you can suggest an album that will appear on the Wheel of Wame and get access to my backer blog and behind-the-scenes content. For $3, you enroll in my postcard club, where throughout the year I will send you handwritten custom postcards to show my thanks, and your name will be at the end of all of my videos. For $7, you will have exclusive stickers sent along with your postcard, minimum of 3 per drop. The last one I did, the stickers came out really small, and I don't know why that happened. They were really tiny, so I just put a bunch of them in each one, so they had more than 3, so that might happen sometimes. And finally, for $15, you will get a custom item made by Toffee Maki Designs. The last drop he put together has this really awesome cactus keychain, and I personally love it. I think it looks way better, way better quality than anything I usually put together myself. So yes, that was my Patreon. Feel free to join if you want to. If you don't worry, I'm never going to gatekeep an episode of my Worst Film Ever Made series behind a paywall. I know how much people want to see it, so I'm going to give it to you every single time. But whether you joined or not, thank you for sticking to the end of this video. My name is Garrett, this has been Cactus Malpractice, and I hope you are ready for the next episode of Worst Album Ever Made. But until then, everybody, always remember to not give birth to a severed hand.
Oh my God!
A hand! Come on, let's give me a hand!
Wrestling, don't you just love it? Okay, like when we start this off, a lot of the early ones are gonna be really hard to do. I don't know how to do this one. I really don't know how to do this one. I'm gonna restart this one. Yeah. California. City of Angels. It's gonna be trouble.
All right, partners, it's now time for the exciting conclusion. What am I going to be reviewing on the next episode of Worst Album Ever Made? Consarn it. Spin that thing.
I'm going to be reviewing Crazy Frog's Crazy Hits.
No.
Cool. I'm so excited.